Alright, so this is something that I feel like it's a bit interesting. This Japanese Twitter user made a list of all the CCs in the game. He ranked all of the units in the game who have the highest to lowest CC. Now with the Super Awakening 5 update, let me actually translate real quick. Yeah, except the new collab characters, but to be fair, they wouldn't be in the top spots anyways. It says the ranking has fluctuated considerably because he's been making, or her, they, oh no, their gender, no genders in bio. They have been making this list for a while. I actually had no idea about this before this. But I want to take a look at now who are the top, highest CC characters in the game. It's all in Japanese here. I was originally gonna, manually translate it from Google Translate, but someone else already did it. I had code to it because I was actually kind of impressed because I just saw the name here, Marco Chu. So it was, it's Mark II Valenti. Mark II Valenti has the second highest CC in the game. I was like, bro, what? I had no idea. Because, of course, my Mark II Valenti, right? I only ever saw her with this gear right here, which is attacking crit resistance. And so I was like, oh, their CC is okay, Attack crit resistance, not the highest CC, gear in the game. Plus, she only has, I believe, 4 no, she does have 5 haircuts. She only has 4 weapons. Okay, but I was like, okay, she's just a regular unit. But apparently she's the second highest in the game, right below Ascanor. But yeah, so someone else already did the translations. I saw here my replies. Yeah, right here. So someone else did it already, like translate. The 42, I believe it's way more than that. But to be fair, I wouldn't translate more than that. Like, I just watched the top ones, I feel like after the top, 40, 30, that's just old characters with really outdated CCs, right? So, of course, the number... Let's actually open this in a new tab, just so I can zoom. Yeah, okay. The one Ascanor, of course, is still the highest CC in the game, which is not surprising to me. My the one Ascanor... So here's the thing, right? This right here is with gear. And this right here is with, HP defense, maxed out 15% with max roll, right? With max, base stat on that gear, and maxed out cosmetics. My Ascanor... almost that, 58.7. I don't know, like, the only thing missing, I guess, is I have a little bit defense missing. Need to hammer these up, right? But, hammers are so scarce. It's missing 1 point here. My, HP here, my attack here is missing 0.3, missing 0.5. Again, defenses are missing a lot in 14.0, 0.8. So I could get my Ascanor to 59.1. But I would have to spend so much money, doing hammers and stuff, which I don't even know if it's worth it. I'll in the meantime, be doing that, I guess. But, like, there are other units I have to focus on, right? Mark II Valenti, which, again, is the one I was most impressed about. Assault Mode Melee, which doesn't surprise me, I was gonna say. Doesn't surprise me, just because Assault Mode Melee is such a recent unit. Mine's a 57.8. My HP defense for melee is very bad, 14.2, and not even max. But it's pretty high, all things considered. Blue Derriere is also one that impressed me a lot. So, Blue Derriere and Red Easton are 2 characters that you would not expect to have this much CC, but because they are so recent, I guess they just gave them such big boosts, which is really weird, because I think Red Derriere has very low CC. I only have attack defense for Derriere. Maybe after this I'll consider making, HP defense, but... So this is my Red Derriere, 53.4 attack defense, right? Not HP, HP is like the holy grail CC. My Blue Derriere though, which I did not 6-6 because her banner was terrible. 54.3, missing 800 because I have 4, so it should be like 55.1 with the exact same gear. So you can tell that she has way more CC than Red Dariyari. That's insane. It's the same character. So with, Grand Cross, one thing that's been like kind of a norm is that a same named character would have very similar CC. It wouldn't have the same, because sometimes they just have more, but it'd be similar. I think after the Super Awakening 5, it has really changed that, because I think Super Awakening 5 made very different buffs. For example, I just checked this, right? So, I think Red Zeldris is right here, right? 15. Where's Blue Zeldris is right here, 15th spot. So let's take Blue Zeldris. I haven't Super Awakened him yet. Blue Zeldris gets himself 6.2k HP, right? And 600 defense, 160 attack. Let's see like another unit, just a random unit, like the old Valenci. She gets 5,600. You see the difference? He gets way more stats, way more HP. Same defense, a little less attack, but she gets way more HP. So there's like a big difference between units and what stats they get, which I think is kind of weird. That's a little sus. Are you like specifically making some characters have better stats for no specific reason? That's just strange. Red Easton, which again very much surprised me. Red Easton is a recent character, so I guess that makes sense, but very high CC for Red Easton. Red Ascanor. Now, so I actually have not Super Awakened Ascanor yet, so let me see how much she gets. Yeah, look at that, 6.2 and then 500 defense and 160 attack. So again, a lot of HP, a lot of HP. I'll Super Awaken him later, but yeah, like he has more CC than 2 festival units. I don't know if that was the case before, Festival King has so much HP, so much stats. Like when he released, I was like, this has to be the highest CC character in the game. I think he was at release, and then Goddess Liz follows up right after. Win the Lane. That's a character I'm never gonna give you our gear to, I don't think. I mean, unless Elaine gets like a god tier unit, right? I'll give her your gear. But yeah, Red Zeldris makes sense. Red Zeldris is like insane stats, always has. Both Zeldris units. Remember when Blue Zeldris first came out? He was one of the highest stats. He has one of the highest stats in the game, like one of the highest CCs in the game. Green Drow. I'm surprised. So Green Drow did have more CC than Blue Drow, but I'm not even seeing Blue Drow here. Unless Blue Drow 30. Wow. So yeah, 4cc, so this is very important, right? Because 4cc, you definitely want to have these characters linked over another, right? So with Ludocio, for example, he has a Drow link. And so let me just actually pull up PvP real quick. I actually do have both Drows, Super Awakened and stuff like that. If I put Ludocio, so I have Ludo, right? And I have Drow. So you see like 203.4k HP. If I pull like Blue Drow gives much inferior. I don't have gear on him, extra switch. Gives much inferior stats to compared to Green Drow, and it's always been like that. It's just less. That's important for Ludocio. Not as much for other units, let's be real, like just a little more HP doesn't really make that much of a difference, but for Ludocio specifically, because he wants to out-CC people, it makes a difference. And it's always been the case where Blue Drow did have less stats than Green Drow, but now I feel like it's even more. So, Blue Tarmiel, that's, again, surprising to me, because I thought Blue Tarmiel would be like here. Tarmiel has one of the highest base CCs in the game, but I guess after Super Awakening, he's not as much. Lost Vein, 13, makes sense. Red Sauriel. Sauriel, again, a character I never think about CC-wise, just because Sauriel, I have, attack crit on him. And so, attack crit, 54.1 is actually pretty good. Again, attack crit. The only gear I have for Sauriel, because of course, he's a DPS unit. That's how I want to treat him as. And that's actually very interesting to me, because 54.1 as an attack crit unit is actually very good. And I think before he had very low CC, before this update. Blue Zeldris makes sense. Green Ascanor. Green Ascanor way below Red Ascanor. Red Fat King. Red Fat King, man. I think he had... So, Green Fat King, I'm pretty damn sure had more stats than Red Fat King, like CC-wise. And now it's the difference there. Green Lolly Merlin. Green Lolly Merlin is very low, but that might just be because she's lacking costumes. So if I come over to Lolly Merlin here, I'm looking for her in my box. I just want to see how many costumes she's missing. Because she's new release festival, she's missing a haircut, and that makes a huge difference. She got an extra like little costume for her like affinity, which is unfortunate. That makes a huge difference. After she gets a weapon and a haircut, she might boost up on this list. Blue Ludo, which is very sad. Blue Ludo is so low. So one thing I wanted to see, right, was where Blue Ludo was. So it's like 19, right? So this is the current list. This is the kanji for Ludo. It's like the little smiley face there. I want to see where he was before you. I'm gonna pause the video and look for it real quick. All right, so maybe you won't recognize, but here's the kanji for Ludo. You see, you can see the pattern, right? So he has like the little smiley face, and then the eye and this, right? So he's in 19th place now, and before this update, he was in 10th place. This is Ludo again. Ludo was in 10th place before this update. Now he's in 19th. That's a huge drop. So Ludo got incredibly shafted with Super Awakening, to the point where he's gonna get out CC'd. If, like, let's say you are just a common Dolphin player, right? Let's say, because if you're the player, you might not, I wouldn't recommend using Ludo anymore, even. Let's say just a regular Dolphin player. If you face any whale, you're going to get screwed with Ludo. It's just how it is now after this update. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, like, let's say, you know, like the one Ascanor, right? You're not going to be running the one Ascanor of HP defense. I would even understand if you're one HP crit. But if you are real, like a real living person, you should be using attack crit on the one Ascanor. The only person that I allow to use HP crit is Speedy, just because I like him. But other than that, you should be using attack crit. It's just better. So you're gonna get out CC by Ludo, because with attack crit, there's a big disparity in CC. Again, if I go back to my Ascanor here real quick, I have HP on him, right? 58.7. If I switch to attack crit, 55.2. You see the drop in CC? Huge. But still, almost out CC's my Ludo, because I think my Ludo has 57 point something, and he has 57.6. I believe my Ludo's almost perfect. Gear-wise, mine is at, yeah, 57.518. So almost close to, you know, the maximum. And, you know, I mean, yeah, I'll CC, but, like, that's just because my gear is perfect. I'm saying, like, if you're a regular, just free-to-play or Dolphin player, you shouldn't be devoting all this much resources into one unit. And, you know, you're gonna get destroyed if you face, like, anyone that's, like, insane CC, you know? But that's not every match. Let's just not discount like that. Red Melascula, very high actually for Melascula. Green Estarossa, Green Easton, Red Estarossa, Blue Fat King, Blue Melascula, Blue Gallant, Hawk and Oslo. Wow! Hawk and Oslo so low! Like, I mean, in the top 30, it's still pretty good, but like, I was actually expecting Hawk and Oslo to be like this, because Hawk and Oslo, I'm pretty sure has one of the highest base stats in the game. They are missing costumes, I'm pretty sure, right? So that might be why. But still, even if they had those costumes, they still wouldn't be like in the top, right? So, let me actually check. So Hawk and Oslo, yeah, it's missing a weapon and a haircut. No, a haircut they do. So it's just missing a weapon. Okay, never mind. They wouldn't even be close to the top 10. Not even close with the extra weapon. They'll be like here with the extra weapon. So that's crazy. The Hawk and Oslo are actually so low. I thought they would be much higher. Blue Drow, like I said, much lower than Green Drow. Red Gallon, Green Griamore, Green Griamore. Red Glocks, that's pretty good for Glocks. green Monspe, blue Handy, blue Nanashi, green Arthur, green Glocks, red Dino Meliodas, red Camilla, red Monspe. So these are the top, oh, you can see the bottom one's red Monspe. These are like the top highest CC units in the game. And I'm honestly very impressed with a lot of entries in this list. Honestly, the one that impressed me the most was Valente. But after that was like Blue Dairy. Blue Dairy, when she comes back, I'm definitely gonna have to 6-6 her. I think I should consider giving HP defense to Dairy, just because, you know, with that whole like taunt thing, she does definitely want to be tanking hits and stuff. And if you have HP defense for Dairy, you're gonna have so much CC. There's a good chance you're gonna out CC your enemy. Like if let's say you're using Assault Melee, right? Using Assault Melee. Oh man, if you want to use Assault Melee with HP defense as well, with Blue Drow, which is in the top 15, or it was Blue Drow. No, Blue, sorry, Blue 30. I guess Green Drow. Top 11. That's such a high. Then Red Zeldris, right? That's so much CC. That team has so much CC, man. That's crazy. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you, the Twitter user Myon. Thank you for the guy who translated. Edmon. So, very interesting. I like seeing this list.